Today's video, I want to give you specifics on the DOT drug test. This is going to be Department of Transportation specific. So if you're a CDL driver out there, this is going to be the drug test that you are required to go through, pass, before you can drive commercially. And then I will also give you the best practice tips and tricks, things that you need to do to be best prepared to take and then pass that DOT drug test. All right, so it's exciting times. You've just gotten your CDL, or maybe you're in CDL school, or you just get hired by a new employer to drive commercially, and they need you to take the DOT physical and pass a drug screening. So first off, I have done a full video. Actually, I've done multiple videos, and I do one every year because the DOT physical does change, but I've done videos on the DOT physical specifically. That won't be what this video is about. This is specifically about the drug testing process. So check out that video if you're interested as well in the DOT physical process. But this is about the drug screening, and they can be done together, the DOT physical and the drug screening, but it's not necessary. So don't think just because you have a DOT physical scheduled that will also include the drug screening. They can be done together because the DOT physical requires urinalysis, but we're checking for something different with the DOT physical urinalysis than with the drug screening. But if you do them together, you can use the same sample. So sometimes it is done together, but it's not necessary to do it together. So if you just have a DOT physical scheduled, it will not necessarily come with the drug test. The drug test has to be scheduled separately. All right, so the following process is going to be specific for the DOT drug test, the drug test that is required from the FMCSA. That is what we are experts in. We are a DOT certified drug testing collection site. Private employers might have a different process, so you might see a different process, but this one's going to be specific for commercial drivers. If you have a CDL, this is the process you're going to go through to have your drug test performed. All right. So the first thing that is going to happen, obviously you walk in to get your drug test performed. We're going to ask for your ID to verify who you are, and then there's going to be some paperwork for you to fill out. You will be asked to remove any bulky jackets and perhaps leave your purse or other bags behind. And if you have very baggy clothes, they also may check your pockets. So what the tester, what the collector is trying to do is just make sure that you don't have anything with you that can be used to either switch out or alter the sample. Then you will be asked to wash your hands because you won't be able to wash your hands immediately after giving your sample, and then you will be given a cup. You'll be given the collection cup, and you'll be taken to either a private bathroom or a bathroom that has a private stall, and you will be allowed to go into that private bathroom or stall by yourself. And this is a very common misconception that I hear all the time. People think that they're going to be observed while they're giving their sample, and that is not true for the standard DOT drug test. Now, if you're caught cheating, if you're doing a return to duty test, you may be observed, but for a just getting hired, you have to have this drug test performed before you start working. You will not be observed. You'll be in that bathroom giving your sample by yourself. As you give your sample, please remember not to wash your hands after you're finished or flush the toilet. And typically the handles will be taped off so you can't wash your hands. It'll be marked very clearly not to flush the toilet, not to wash your hands, because these are just instinctual things that we do nowadays, but it's very important. Don't wash your hands. Don't flush the toilet until you give that container back to the tester. All right, so when you finish up, you're going to exit that private bathroom or that stall with the collection cup, and you're going to hand it back to the collector. And immediately what that collector is going to do is he's going to read the temperature strip right on the cup, and that temperature strip needs to read between 90 degrees Fahrenheit and 100 degrees Fahrenheit in order for it to be considered a valid sample. So once he or she reads that temperature and it's between 90 and 100, the temperature no longer matters at that point. He has validated that the temperature is correct. All right, so all that's left at this point is a little bit more paperwork, and then you collect up your belongings and you're on your way. So now let's talk about some things that you can do to just make this process go more smoothly for you to ensure that you're going to pass this test. And the first thing I'm going to bring up, and this is actually a brand new product, and you know that I always promote Exploro at-home drug tests, and I want people testing at home if they are concerned about testing positive. But this is specific. This is their new product specific for the DOT drug test. It meets all of the cutoff standards for the Department of Transportation drug test, specifically for every one of the drugs tested for. So we're talking about THC, cocaine, amphetamines, opioids, and PCP. So I want you please to home test before that official drug test so you have a very good idea of what the outcome is going to be. All of the instructions are on the back. There's a very thorough instruction booklet that comes with it. It's very difficult to mess this up. It's very quick. It's simple to do. You do it in the privacy of your own home. And I will, as always, leave a link to how to pick this up directly from Amazon in the description box of this video. The next thing that you can do to save yourself some time and some headache, and also save us some headache as well, us the tester, the collector, is just keep yourself hydrated. Make sure that you can go to the bathroom. You're gonna have to provide a pretty significant size sample for the drug test because they split it into 2 different samples just in case they need to retest it. But you want to be sufficiently hydrated, but you don't want to be overly hydrated, because if you just chug and chug and chug water all day long right before a drug test, that can dilute your sample, meaning that you will actually have to retest. So just a regular normal amount of hydration of water, but make sure you're drinking water the day of your drug test. And then finally, you can save yourself just being searched a little bit more thoroughly by just wearing minimalistic clothing, not a lot of baggy shirts, baggy pants, big bulky jackets. If you don't want to be searched or touched or poked or prodded all that much, now we're not going to strip search you or anything like that, but sometimes they'll check your pockets or other various things they might think you will be able to hide something in. So just minimalistic clothing, that will go a long way to just making this process go a lot more smoothly. And that's it. Really, it sounds scarier than it actually is. It's really an in and out process. I hope this was helpful and informative. If you have questions, please leave those in the comments section. I love reading these questions and answering them if I can. Thanks to all the members of this channel. They help keep this channel going. And until next time, everybody, stay safe.